This is the first in our 5-week discussion series about Tracy Kidder's book, Rough Sleepers, which tells the story of a doctor who provided medical care for the unsheltered community in Boston. I'm sure many of you are aware that the number of unsheltered people in Lewis and Clark County has increased significantly in recent years. Plymouth Congregational Church has partnered with Lewis and Clark County Library, the United Way, Good Samaritan, the Montana Jewish Project, Temple Emmanuel, and the United Methodist Churches to do this book read as part of the larger Move the Dial campaign to look at homelessness in our area.
It's not inevitable or natural. Jesus said we would always have the poor with us, but he did not say we will always have the homeless with us. The fact that we have so many unsheltered people today is a product of political and economic systems and the outcome of deeply held values and assumptions. So I'm asking you to imagine a different world, a very different world, where even the most difficult and challenging people, like Tony and his friends from the book Rough Sleepers, live in a way that respects their humanity and dignity, but is also safe and sanitary. We are probably all aware of the acronym NIMBYism, not in my backyard, but we are seeing a new acronym today, BANANA, build absolutely nothing anywhere near anything. I was asked to and said I would end with hope for potential solutions and actions. You may have ideas of your own. I'm sure there are many ideas in this room. And I hope they all come up in discussion, since Lord knows we need creative, hopeful people engaged in the discussion. I do see hope in a few areas. First, there's increased awareness of homelessness and a desire to do something about it. On the negative side of this, however, we know that increasing homelessness we are aware that we know that increased frustration among residents of places with large homeless populations often turn punitive. To fix the problem, they outlaw it, what some have termed criminalizing poverty. It becomes illegal to sleep outside, to sleep in parks, to spend time in public places, to camp on public lands. They demonize the unsheltered and argue that providing services only, quote unquote, encourages the homeless lifestyle, a statement that has no evidence to back it up. Research shows that people want to live where they have family and connections. People do not move to places where they don't know anyone and have no connections because they have a homeless shelter. I also want to distinguish among the various types of unsheltered populations and their different needs. The majority of homeless people are temporarily homeless, usually a result of something catastrophic, a divorce, eviction, domestic violence, job loss, medical crisis, or a combination of all of those. Only a small proportion, maybe 10%, are the chronically homeless, like the rough sleepers. The large majority, therefore, can be helped by some of the proposed solutions that have been floated around the Montana legislature during the last session. Changes to zoning laws to allow additional housing units like in-law suites, and allow the construction of multifamily buildings in residential neighborhoods can make a difference. But for the most vulnerable, we need creative and compassionate solutions. The book talks about, and we can talk more about, housing first programs where people are housed before they have addressed their addiction and mental health issues. We know that once people are housed, they are more able to deal with their other issues, and that making people wait until they're sober is not an effective solution. So these are places where mental health issues and sobriety or medication is not a barrier to entry. These are controversial and in this political climate very challenging, but they also show a lot of promise. I wonder what would have helped Tony and his friends. And I look forward to your comments and discussion. Thank you.
Calling an ambulance for a ride to the hospital when they're ill, or making a minor infraction to stay in jail when it's cold out. And I can tell you that in the first, we worked on this program to bring it to Helena for over 3 years. But in the first year now that we've been doing it, We have already saved in jail stays and hospital calls. We have 2 case managers that work this program, and we have saved hundreds of thousands of dollars. In fact, it's close to $1 million they've saved just in the first year. So your point is, and we've been preaching this to our local officials for the last 3 years, that it is less expensive to do something than nothing, for sure.
Dr. Nelson, the program is becoming.
When there are unhoused people who need to be dismissed from the hospital after having been there, and they have no place to go, they stay in the hospital. Can you imagine a more expensive house than a hospital bed? And another outcome of that is that when the hospital fills up, and like it does some winters, all the beds that can be staffed are taken. Then when we get sick, we can't go there. And we can't be sent to Butte or Bozeman because the same thing is happening there. So you talk about a self-interest that we all should have in dealing with unhoused people. And here's one that could be at the top.
He has a symbol. The other thing I just want to mention that wasn't mentioned yet, that will, I think, be addressed in subsequent issues or sessions of this series on homelessness and unsheltered in Helena, is that we have somewhere between 380 and 400 students in the Helena school system who are considered to be homeless. That is a shocking thing. This may be a very caring community, but it's not doing its job to care for every one of our brothers and sisters. So I'm really thankful to Jennifer Thompson and others who put this series together, and for Pat for bringing us this history, and for everyone who contributed today, because it is an emergency in Helena, and we really need to solve it. There have been communities